It's a Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com or on their Facebook page. Also brought to you by Chugwater Chili. Get 20% off your purchase of Chugwater Chili. Go to chugwaterchili.com and use checkout code ChugwaterDon. Get 20% off of the chili seasoning. I know this is what I'm going to do after work today, making me a big pot of chili because chilly weather is coming. As we've got a taste of winter. I think this is the first real taste of winter for a lot of you. There's been little hints of winter at times this fall, but not a lot. But it really is in many areas by tomorrow and Friday going to feel like winter. We got much colder snow conditions coming. Travel is going to be a problem. I think throughout all of the Intermountain West, the mountain passes especially, I-70, Interstate 80, I-25, parts of I-90, and 15, you're going to run into some problems. Now, at first, for folks east of the divide, so basically for the front range areas of Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado, into western Kansas, Nebraska, and the West Dakotas, you're going to be mild in southwest flow today. But for west of the divide, we're already seeing rain and snow moving in and falling temperatures. Significant snow is going to fall in all of the major mountain ranges over the next week, basically through next Tuesday. It's not continuous snow, but what we'll have are surges of Pacific moisture and cold air come through the mountain ranges, and it's just a really good pattern to build up the snowpack. So the mountains are going to see off and on snow for the next 6 days, and it's going to add up. Now down low, we're going to have just enough light to moderate snow to really give you that taste of winter and make for some travel hazards. So travelers, be ready. The roads are going to get icy, the interstates, the mountain passes, all of those things over the next 72 hours and into early next week. Ahead of this low, we've got a lot of high and mid-level clouds, so we're getting great sunrises and sunsets coming up with these high and mid-level clouds, a lot of lenticular clouds forming as well. And even down into Arizona, beautiful shot there of those high and mid-level clouds ahead of that Pacific trough coming our way. Satellite loop here this morning showing that trough, which was yesterday, right here, is now just moving into eastern Idaho and parts of western Wyoming and western Montana. We showed you over the last couple of days these clouds, these puffy like little cotton balls, showing how cold that air is over the water. And each of these little balls here of clouds you see are heavy showers, just going right into the Pacific Northwest coast of Washington and Oregon and Northern California. That'll produce more snow, heavy snow in the Cascades, and wet weather in those Pacific Northwest areas. Here you can see on radar that leading edge of the front right here, and then you can see those showers coming into the Pacific Northwest. This is what it looked like not very long ago on Teton Pass. Woo, coming down pretty good there on Teton Pass. This is what a lot of the mountain passes in the west will be looking like at times in the coming days. There's the trough of low pressure being driven in by that eastern Pacific high pressure ridge, pushing that colder weather on in. And this is where it's going to be by Friday morning. Even though the storm is splitting, there's going to be an axis of moisture right here that's going to be able to survive the mountains and get over the divide. That means we will be getting some snow out of this in some areas east of the mountains. Lots of wind, especially today. Lots of wind with that front coming throughout the entire west. And here's the precipitation forecast through 6 p.m. on Friday. So you can see the Pacific Northwest, northern Idaho there, northeastern Oregon, those mountain areas getting significant snow. Then into the central Rockies, you can see pretty decent snow amounts into the mountains here. And then notice we do have a little moisture getting out into the plains now. So it's not going to be a lot, but maybe there's a little more snow coming to the plains east of the divide than it looked like earlier in the week. Just enough to give you a taste of winter. Great to see this here. More snow into the Sierra Nevada. They did really good yesterday in the central and northern Sierras. This is also through Friday, 6 p.m. So you can see where the snow is going to be falling. Look at this heavy snow swath up into Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia, up into Glacier National Park, into the higher mountains of Idaho. Really good snow through Friday, but it doesn't stop there. As we'll show you here in a minute, these are the temperature anomalies by tomorrow, 6 p.m. So by 6 p.m. on Thursday, this is where the cold boundary is going to be the cold front. Everything north and west of there is where the temperatures are going to get colder. Look at these temperatures down there. Think you're going to go to Arizona to get warmed up? Not this week. Pretty darn cold relative to average down there. And this is all due to this trough just sitting off the Pacific Northwest coast. It's basically going to get re-energized. This is by Monday morning. Look at that deep low there, just off of Seattle. That cold, moist air mass is evidenced by the blue arrow, is just going to drive cold, moist air into the Northwest United States. That's just a snow machine. That's just going to keep the snow going in the Northwest United States and rain and snow showers into the valleys. And pieces of this low will break off and come through the central and northern Rockies. And that's what's going to keep occasional mountain snow going. And look how cold it is. This is by next Tuesday evening. Look at how much cold air there is on the western side of North America, just along and west of the divide. Look at the cold here in Canada, pushing into Montana. For you folks in Montana, northern Wyoming and the western Dakotas, back here in Washington and Oregon and Idaho, it's going to be downright chilly, even for November in this pattern. And look at these temperatures by the end of next week. Those purple temperatures are temperatures that are 30 degrees below the 30-year average. That's very cold. And look at the extent of the cold by late next week. Gets all the way maybe down to the Gulf Coast. Blue norther coming into Texas maybe by late next week. So this is certainly a 180 from what we've been experiencing here lately. This is the most updated snow and ice map. I want to show you this now because we'll take a look at this maybe early next week and show you how much it'll change. This is currently where snow and ice is right now on our side of the globe. But the 10-day snowfall forecast is going to show that that map is going to change. Look at the snow in Canada and into Montana, western North Dakota, then into the Rockies and Pacific Northwest. So the next 7 to 10 days, a lot of winter, especially in the mountains. If you're a ski area, you're going to have to be really, really happy with this forecast. And this will also make you happy if you're a skier. The Eastern Pacific Oscillation remains in a strong negative phase from this weekend all the way through the following week and probably longer than that. And if you look all the way out towards the middle of November, this is the 7-day average of temperatures from this weekend into next week. And so you can see how much cold there is in the west, but look how warm it is in the east. So everyone's going to be talking about how beautiful it is in the east and ignoring what's happening out here. But I will tell you, eventually this cold by the middle to the end of the month will reach the Great Lakes and the eastern part of the United States as well. Have yourself a super Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.